for me, my weird thing about Super Saiyan 3 is, of all people,
Son Goku's using it?
ladies and gentlemen, friend of the show, finally dropped the video that he was hinting at to, whether it was to me privately or even publicly on the TSO platform. He thinks Super Saiyan 3 is overrated. For the most part, I agree with him. His reasonings could be great, it could be good, it could be terrible, it could be just straight up fact. Comment below if you think the form is overrated, but this is why he thinks Super Saiyan 3 is overrated. Here we go.
Super Saiyan 3 is a bad transformation.
Damn. 5 seconds in, 2 seconds in, bad transformation. Do I think it's bad? Compared to the field, probably. In general, no. I think most Dragon Ball transformations, for the most part, are better or good rather than just objectively bad. So I wouldn't call it bad in general. Now, compared to other Dragon Ball transformations, okay, I see what you mean. It's definitely not on the good side.
Don't leave an angry comment or a death threat yet, just hear me out. The first thing that I have to make clear is if you think Super Saiyan 3 looks cool, I agree. In the
for
anime,
sure.
at least. The manga was hit and miss for me. Speaking of the manga, I want to be clear.
For me, I definitely agree. I'd go a step further. The movies are like coolest Super Saiyan 3 moments are in the movies. The Dragon Fist against Arudagon, the transformation in Janemba. I think those are probably like 2 of the top 3 Super Saiyan 3 moments. So yeah, in the movies, Super Saiyan 3 is like crazy good. And that's probably where that shit comes from. I think Super Saiyan 3 is the hype form. Like, obviously Super Saiyan 1 is iconic. Obviously Super Saiyan 2 is nostalgic. Super Saiyan 3 to me is the hype beast form of Dragon Ball.
Here, my focus really is on Dragon Ball's manga, and by extension, the manga-accurate portions of Dragon Ball Z. So, the non-canon Dragon Ball Z movies, those are fine with me. If anything, Super Saiyan 3 is cooler in the 2 Dragon Ball Z movies it's in than any other time in the series. So if those are your reasons for liking Super Saiyan 3, great. I love that for you. But in terms of the story of Dragon Ball, it's a really big miss for me, and I think I can explain why in 3 points.
Talk to us.
More importantly, I want to end this with how I think Super Saiyan 3 could have been better used. I don't want this to be all negative. Let's start with character assassination. I think we all know by the time of the Buu Saga, Toriyama was getting tired of Dragon Ball and seemed to start having a more cynical outlook on Goku as a character. This is especially clear as the arc progresses. Goku starts the arc as someone who's willing to sacrifice his one day on Earth in order to protect the planet from an unknown threat. He's constantly trying to make sure that Buu isn't revived, and despite being lighthearted about Babidi's weaker minions, he continues this seriousness through the Majin Vegeta encounter and even his limited time on the lookout after he wakes up from Vegeta's sucker punch. There, he's even surprisingly strict when he's training Goten and Trunks to fuse. He's not playing around, and the story is doing everything to tell us that he isn't. Then this is all immediately undermined by Goku revealing he has Super Saiyan 3, since the form could have stopped Buu from being revived in the first place. Some people seem to think that Goku using Super Saiyan 3 would have given more energy to Buu's revival, but that's just wrong. Buu doesn't just collect power from the air or whatever those people think. He specifically gets energy from fighters that aren't Babidi's minions being damaged. This is why Pui Pui and Yakone getting killed didn't help to revive Buu. The energy only comes from the damage they deal, not the damage they take. That's why
Damn. I ain't gonna lie, got y'all asses with that one. I ain't gonna lie, because I was gonna say the argument would be that you would have to convince yourself that Super Saiyan 3 off rip grade 1 spawns Buu. That was gonna be my only argument. I was gonna say the only argument you have against that, and I don't even like that argument. I was to break the fourth wall. I was gonna say something along the lines of, yeah, Goku's a troll in this arc. I know he's searching for a successor at some point in time, but even the times he mentions, you could argue that Goku's somewhat half trolling when you know that he has Super Saiyan 3 in a tuck. But based on his argument, and it doesn't really derail his argument, because his argument is essentially following the story without knowing he has Super Saiyan 3 in a tuck. You would think Goku's taking shit dead serious. And then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, I have this power that would. So I understand what he's saying, and he's not wrong there, because it then is like, okay, so you really are just looking for this next guy to be the face of Earth. And I will continue to say Goku is the troll of the Buu Saga.
Why Goku says he wants to end the fight with Majin Vegeta quickly at full power. He's taking the threat of Buu seriously. Oh, did you catch that? Yeah, read it again real quick. Goku's supposedly fighting at full power here. Super Saiyan 3 makes Goku a massive liar in retrospect, and not just one little lie to Vegeta either. He lies to Piccolo about being unable to beat Buu at all, to then simply being unsure if he can beat Buu as a Super Saiyan 3, which is a bit better, though it doesn't solve the Vegeta issue. Goku explains that he didn't use Super Saiyan 3 against Majin Vegeta because of the time limit, but if he was able to bounce Buu around like a paddle ball long enough for Trunks to get the Dragon Radar, I think he had more than enough time to knock out Majin Vegeta. Then later, Goku flat out brags he could have beaten Buu when he first fought him, but chose not to. Not even pretending there was—
You stole my take.
I had something benefited from a card through text.
It's like, nah. But me and Carthu agreed on this. So this is what, like I said, me and Carthu already done talked about Super Saiyan 3. And we didn't have the lengthiest conversation in Twitter, but we definitely talked about it in the Discord call. And that's what I'm saying. He literally is like a troll for this next generation thing. Fuck me plugging that video. Even in my original Goku video, I think that's still the most popular video on my channel. Sorry if you're in my garage. This is what I talk about. Goku literally just could have stopped shit. Not on one, but like multiple occasions. The Buu threat could have been handled. But he is just constantly searching for this next guy to do it, or the kids to do it, as he quite literally says. And then he rules out Vegeta, so you would think he takes Vegeta seriously, but then he has Super Saiyan 3 in the tuck all along. It's just such a weird thing for him to do.
Anymore like he did to Piccolo earlier on.
So
it's insane when you compare this arrogant Goku, who's about to not beat Kid Buu, by the way, after the Earth was destroyed and all of the people he loves were killed, to Goku at the beginning of the arc, who's more concerned about the potential of this threat than his one precious day on Earth. I think you could see Toriyama's cynical view of Goku evolving over the course of this story, and ultimately it hurts Goku as a character, and it's all rooted in Super Saiyan 3 existing as a form for Goku. Like, imagine Goku was strong enough to beat Cell in the Cell games and just chose not to. That would suck, and people would cry about it even more than they already do with the Senzu Bean. The reason Goku fights Cell first is to see if he can beat Cell without having to rely on Gohan. If he could have won, he would have won, and he says as much to Gohan. It's powerful when Goku gives up. It affirms to us that Gohan is the sole chance for Earth to survive, because we already saw how everyone couldn't begin to compare themselves to how strong Goku was. It's not just Goku making a risky choice to gamble on the next generation that seems completely out of character when compared to his actions in the beginning of the arc. Speaking of the Cell Saga, let's go to point number 2, regression. I want you to think back to when Trunks fights—
For me, my weird thing about Super Saiyan 3 is, of all people,
Son Goku's using it?
Son Goku, the guy that literally was training fucking Gohan to master Super Saiyan to a point where it's like, okay, what if we like didn't have to use any energy expense at all in the form? Wouldn't that make us like overpowered in the form? Goku has time in and time out been a person who's had to control his stamina and his energy drain. Like even with fucking Kaioken, for example, he doesn't just walk around in Kaioken times 20. Granted, he couldn't do that if he wanted to anyway, because my God, he'd just combust. But the point is, like, you know what I'm saying? Goku has always been a guy that's like reserving his stamina, reserving his energy. And then here he is in Super Saiyan 3 with like no control of it. He's like, oh my God, okay, well, my stamina's out, my energy's out. It drains too much ki. Now, in that moment, even during the Buu Saga, even, that's fine. But we're not talking about the Buu Saga in this video. We're talking about the transformation to Super Saiyan 3. An issue with it for me, off rip, effective immediately. Yo, he never like masters this stamina drain issue in Super Saiyan 3. Like, even in the goddamn Tournament of Power, it's like, yeah, but that form, oof, shit takes up way too much energy. He hasn't mastered that. That would be like the first thing Goku should do. It's just like a weird thing for, of all characters, Goku to have. In my personal opinion, at least.
Experience and naivety, especially since the fight is interlaced with scenes showing what's happening in the time chamber. Goku learns Super Saiyan Grade 2 and Grade 3 extremely quickly, but as fast as he learns them, he sees their obvious weaknesses that limit their overall effectiveness. This is not just about the speed loss from Super Saiyan Grade 3 either. Grade 2 also suffers from consuming too much energy. These forms are just inefficient, gaining power in exchange for a very obvious downside. This is why Super Saiyan 2 is actually really interesting. It's a more powerful Super Saiyan form that seemingly doesn't have these issues. It is truly the form to surpass the Super Saiyan wall, an efficient and powerful evolution of Super Saiyan. So why the fuck is Super Saiyan 3 like this? The Super Saiyan grades exist as a warning. Their purpose is to show that there are wrong ways to go about getting stronger. That's the reason I actually like both of them, even if they're supposedly useless. They further the narrative. They lead to something better. Meanwhile, Super Saiyan 3 is the final Super Saiyan form of the original manga, and it just reintroduces some of these obvious flaws without having a greater purpose. I've said this before, so I won't harp on it too much, but you could just not have Super Saiyan 3 in the Buu Saga, and things don't actually change that much.
But like, this is exactly what I'm talking about, though. Because, like, this is my exact take with Blue. I've said time in and time out, in hindsight, nothing changes. If instead of blue, it's just red hair, nothing fucking changes. But for some reason, you had him turn blue just for Vegeta to turn blue, which everybody was like, so he can't turn red, but he can turn blue. And then now that I really think about it, even blue and red was about energy management. Yeah. Again, his first point, you could argue some shaky elements to it, but I think he made damn good points that where he would win the debate more often than not. This second point, I've always agreed with, like, especially the idea that, Goku could have just stayed Super Saiyan 2. I've always agreed with the idea of Son Goku having Super Saiyan 3 not making a lick of sense. I've always thought that.
As this would obviously require a rewrite and not a simple what if, but would it be so bad if Goku stalled Buu in a more creative way? Would Gotenks be less cool if he was just a Super Saiyan 2 instead? Actually, we'll get back to Gotenks in a bit. The form just feels so forced, especially considering how it gets no foreshadowing, and with Goku lying, it actually gets anti-foreshadowing. Super Saiyan is foreshadowed by the legend that's repeated over the course of an entire—
Card through gang, you my boy. I'm gonna like this video. I'm gonna tell you now, they are going to try to disagree with the Super Saiyan 3 thing, not having foreshadowing. They're gonna say it's because Goku is serious. Goku talks about how he can end things and is trying to end things, that they're going to imply that all along he was doing it to save Vegeta's pride. That's all it was. You're overthinking it. And that it's foreshadowed that he could do it. That's what they're going to type. Now, do I believe that shit?
No.
Gohan's hidden potential and the hunt for a form that would surpass the Super Saiyan.
Exactly. And even if it was, it's definitely not as foreshadowed as literal Super Saiyan 1 or 2. Not even close.
Wall. Super Saiyan 3 gets none of that. It just shows up only to get almost immediately overshadowed, which is actually my next point. While Super Saiyan 3 has a cool introduction, it doesn't really do much. And when I say it doesn't do much, I'm not just talking about winning fights either. It just isn't that present in most of the series, and it's honestly replaced by other new things pretty quickly. The first is fusion. Like I said, Super Saiyan 2 Gotenks would have been fine, and Vegito doesn't even use anything besides regular Super Saiyan, but he's such a beast and a fan favorite anyway. Honestly, I just think more people like Vegito than Super Saiyan 3, but maybe I'm out of touch. You can let me know in the comments. Ultimate. Now I'm sure the Dragon Ball movies make you think of Super Saiyan 3 as the better form, but narratively, even if it's a bit redundant, Gohan having untapped hidden power and getting an efficient transformation to access that power with is way better than the problems Super Saiyan 3 causes for Goku's character in this arc. And more—
I'm not even a fan of ultimate mystic, full power, potential unleashed, whatever you want to call him, Gohan. I actually don't like that form either. I think it's a combination of lazy and repeating tropes. I think I'm so tired of the Gohan cycle of, hey, he's going to unlock his potential again. I'm tired of that, especially when the build up to it every time is, well, Gohan wasn't training, but he has the potential if he was. I think that I don't like that form either. Let me be disgustingly clear. I might even like that form less than I do Super Saiyan 3.
Gohan continues to use his ultimate form while Super Saiyan 3 makes seemingly no progress. In Super, we're instantly shown that Super Saiyan 3 is far behind the powers that Goku will face in the story with a flick heard around the world. It was on King Kai's planet though, so I guess it wasn't that hard to hear. The God forms obviously go on to replace Super Saiyan 3 as well, but even worse, in the anime's version of the Tournament of Power, it's heavily implied that Super Saiyan 3 is far less efficient than even Super Saiyan God, and Goku—
Thank you for bringing that up. That's what I was talking about earlier, and people would have said I misremembered it until you put it on the screen. Thank you. This is the scene that I'm talking about that confirmed, all right, bruh, I'm not on the Super Saiyan 3 hype train, because you're telling me Goku still hasn't mastered Super Saiyan 3. That's nasty. Like literally, after I heard this, I was like, okay, it doesn't make sense for Goku to have the form. Anything prior to, that makes sense. For example, a character like Vegeta having Super Saiyan 3, That actually makes a ton of sense. It would have been corny. It would have been boring potentially, but like, and this is not me trying to cook anything because I think this would have been a moment, right? But let's say for example, Revival F, Goku loses in his red-haired form and Vegeta has Super Saiyan 3. It makes sense for that character to have a crash out form. Absolutely. Fucking Goku? Kakarot? And even then for Vegeta, it would be a little bit like, damn, you ain't learned this lesson the first time. It's like, even with Vegeta, it's like, damn, like, I thought everybody learned this shit. I thought everybody learned that you need to have stamina and energy efficiency. So I don't even necessarily know if I 100% agree with Vegeta specifically having that form by that point in time, earlier in the series for sure. And again, don't die on the Revival F thing. I was just thinking of a situation. But at the end of the day, it just never made sense. After seeing this, it never made sense for fucking Goku to have Super Saiyan 3. If they're still going to have this idea that he's never mastered it.
Implied that Super Saiyan 3 is far less efficient than even Super Saiyan God in Goku's fight with Kale and Caulifla. Honestly, Caulifla, if you're watching this, give up on Super Saiyan 3. There are better forms available. Hell, Goku doesn't even use
Caulifla was talking about getting 3.
it when using all of his transformations against Jiren in the anime. This isn't even just a canon thing either. In GT, we see Super Saiyan 3 twice, once without a tail and once with. The idea was Goku having a tail would make him strong enough to beat Baby, but nope, he gets Super Saiyan 4 instead because Super Saiyan 3 can't do shit. It's so funny to think Super Saiyan 3 had one chance to get a pretty notable W, beating Boo and Goku's first fight with him, but instead he chooses to let the kids handle it, and even with them using Super Saiyan 3, they don't manage to do it either.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, his point number 2 is baking y'all, chat.
I think of as Goku's greatest failure, but even ignoring Gotenks, instead he chooses to let the kids handle it, and even with them using Super Saiyan 3, they don't manage to do it either. Something I think of as Goku's greatest failure, but even ignoring Goten and Trunks being failures, I think they're the best way to use Super Saiyan 3. Like I've been explaining, most of the reasons to dislike Super Saiyan 3 narratively are Goku-centric.
Twin. We got Carthy, bro. We locked in, bro. We right here, bro. They gonna cook us. They gonna cook us because they stupid. It's like, nah, they gonna cook us for whatever. Carthy, we are locked in. I've been saying this whole fucking video. The issue ain't even just the form. I'm not mad at the concept of a crash out, hey, I'm trying to kill this guy, all or nothing moment that I know somebody typed. So delete your comment. I know you typed. Oh yeah, I need Goku to have a form that, hey man, he knows he got one shot. He needs to get that one kill. At the end of the day, it don't make sense for him to have it. But a character like Gotenks, who I assume he's going to talk about the literal fusion time on it, now that makes sense. I go a step further. A character like Vegito makes sense. He's on a he's literally like, well, fuck it. I'm on a time. Gogeta, I'm sorry. I'm on a time crunch. That makes sense. Like, yeah, so many other characters, probably should be fusions, but so many other characters or designs or concepts, it makes sense. Of all characters, fucking Goku having the form just does not make sense.
Goten and Trunks don't have that same baggage. Instead of them copying Super Saiyan 3, why not have them discover it? It may sound dumb, but having the inexperienced kids discover a form that increases their power at the cost of efficiency makes way more sense. Gotenks is already a gag-heavy character, so this could be a classic Toriyama gag scene too. And the setup is already baked into the manga. We see that after a week of training in the time chamber, Goten and Trunks are exhausted as they talk about achieving a level beyond Super Saiyan. Cut the part of them explaining the stamina and fusion time limit issues for now. Then imagine we didn't know about Super Saiyan 3 yet. You'd think they meant Super Saiyan 2. Eventually, they would get betrayed and trapped in the time chamber, only to then reveal their new...
But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is like a verbatim good example. If you don't know Super Saiyan 3 exists, I know we're like Dragon Ball's old as shit, and I know we're like the nerds that are watching this video, reacting to this video, all this other shit. But if you don't know Super Saiyan 3 exists, and you see Goten and Trunks talking about, wow, I didn't even know there was a power past Super Saiyan, man. And then they transform into this nigga, What the hell? That'd have been the most shocking transformation in history. And it would have actually been like, oh, well, I mean, in a fusion, it's easy to get behind.
new form, Super Saiyan 3, and its power blows Piccolo away. He really thinks they can beat Buu now. Meanwhile, Goku is watching them from the realm of the Kaioshin with Elder Kai's crystal ball. While Supreme Kai and Kibito are in awe of Gotenks' power, Goku is a bit skeptical. The fight with Super Buu plays out the same, still ending with Gotenks losing the form and defusing early, explaining then that they knew about this weakness and decided to use it anyway. There's no regression, no character assassination, and not nearly as much of an issue with overshadowing, since the form is supposed to be bad. It also leaves Gotenks an exclusive form to build off of in the future that would be entirely his own. In the same way, we have exclusive forms for most characters now. So if the Buu Saga really needed Super Saiyan 3, I think it should have been a Gotenks exclusive form. But it wasn't, so it sucks. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and thank you so very much for watching.
Now, here's the two things they're going to cook you for, my boy. One, the character assassination part. Do I see potential regression? Yes. Assassination? Goku being a liar? He is straight up lying. So I don't know if I'm necessarily mad at you calling him a liar. But assassination, I wouldn't say it's assassination. Considering it makes sense for Goku to want for Goku to want like the next generation to be the one to put Buu down if he thinks he has it under control. So if he's capping about a bunch of shit all the time just because he wants to put Goten and Trunks or Gohan in the position to succeed, I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing. I don't think it's like assassination to the character. With regression, it's definitely a regression in terms of Goku's combat though, but I wouldn't call it assassination in the sense of like, it makes sense for Goku to want somebody else to do the work or whatever. Now, where you're absolutely right, to be fair to you though, is like he ain't had to lie about it then. So he's definitely lying. I don't think anybody will even sit there and debate whether he's lying or not. He's definitely fucking lying, but I don't know. Where they're definitely gonna kill you on is what's it called? Fuck, I forgot. Shit, there was another thing. What is it called? Oh, there it goes. What they're definitely gonna try to cook you for is the
Ladies.
B-Souls. What the shit? Almost ruined my take. Jump scaring me like that. What they're definitely gonna kill you on though is yeah, right, ladies. Like that shit threw me the fuck left. What they're definitely gonna kill you for though is without a shadow of a doubt the idea that because Gotenks didn't get it, it sucks. They're gonna point to cool moments in Super Saiyan 3. So let me just say this: Super Saiyan 3 is a cool transformation introduction. Cool unique moves like the Buu ghost thing, which I don't even damn. I said Buu ghost thing with the Gotenks ghost moves and other stuff like that. And you can even argue that's not Super Saiyan 3 exclusive because I'm pretty sure Gotenks as a Super Saiyan does it. There's a ton of like stuff around Super Saiyan 3 that's cool, but y'all say it's like your favorite. I don't see that, but who am I to tell you what you like? However, when you say that it's objectively like one of the better transformations, nah, I don't get those. I don't get those at all. But let me know your thoughts, man. Sorry if you look to the top right and chat with some bullshit. I don't know what the fuck chat's on today. Maybe they're high. I don't know. But take care, stay blessed. I'm gonna see y'all next time, man.